Okay, everyone, welcome to this week's weekly forecast. Today is Monday, the 28th of October, and essentially what we're going to be doing is looking at the weekly and the daily and giving a prediction of where we think price can go. So, obviously, this is just a forecast, and throughout the week, as the daily evolves, our bias may shift, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, so we'll start off with GJ, and we'll just run through all my pairs, and we'll give a forecast, and then in the next forecast, we'll do a quick review of what happened. So let's start with GJ. So as you can see on the weekly, we closed above this level here, 195,900, and we've basically got a clean route up to 206,517. So that's what I'm looking for the next few weeks. But on the daily, obviously, we're just waiting for some more steps up and to take advantage of those. But at the minute, there's no setup at the minute. I mean, we've got a breakout. There's a massive gap here. So yeah, we'll just wait for that one. So that's GJ. So we're looking up to 206. Okay. And then we've got gold. Gold is at all-time highs. We're expecting 2,760 to be broken, or to be at least tested again. I mean, you can see yesterday's closure, also Monday's closure, which is today. Yeah, that'll be looking to push up there tomorrow. So for the rest of the week, looking to retest those highs. And yeah, moving down to the potential sell side, we've got 2,623, but to get there we need the daily to shift, and that's not happening at the minute, so mainly buys on gold. On AUD CAD, it's a difficult one because we've been trapped here at 091,500 for the past 3 weeks, and if I go to the daily, you can see we just haven't been able to get under there. But I did take a trade short on this last week from 092,391 to 091,600, and now I'm just looking for a break and a retest of that level. So on the daily, we've got a breakout, which is an entry signal or a setup signal, and now we just need to wait for an entry on the 4 hour. So AUD CAD's looking at short mainly, but obviously we just need to be wary that we've been trapped here. So an alternative scenario is that we can just fake out back in and then pop up to 092,900. Okay, moving on to AUD USD. The weekly is closed nicely below 066,231 there, so this is looking ready to go down to 064,800. And on the daily, we've got a setup. We just need a pullback, and then we can look to enter short into that area. Okay, next one, AUD JPY. We've got the weekly looking bullish. We were trapped at 101.3 ish. Let's just say 101.5. And we're just waiting for mainly a push up. If on the daily we can get some more bullish structure, I'm looking up towards 108,600 for the next few weeks. But as this weekly closed like this, the daily could shift and we can come back down to 99.4. So we just have to take this on the daily time frame and see what it does. But yeah, at the minute it's either 108,600 as a target or 99,400. It just depends what the daily does. We've got GBP AUD, which is again looking bullish. We've already just on today tapped into my target for the week, which was 1.96900 or 1.9700. So that's that target already hit in one day. So what I'll be waiting for now is a retracement and some further upside to 1.99400. Okay, that's GA. And then we've got G CAD. And now this is an interesting one as well, because you can see at the weekly we've been capped at 1.8200. You can see spike through, we're capped again, and now today we've also been capped again. So although the structure is bullish, personally I think that we can drop down into 1.77500, but it really depends on what the daily does. Just need to get drunk. Yeah, it really depends on what the daily does, because at the minute we've made a high. We need price to either take out this low and make a swing low, and then as it comes up we can get an entry on a short, or price can come down the daily, form support, and then break that support, and then we can come down to 1.77500. But yeah, so this area up here on GBP CAD is quite a difficult range to trade. So personally I'll be looking for shorts I'll be waiting for the daily to shift, and I'll be looking for shorts into 1.77400. Moving on to GBP CHF. This is trapped as it gets, really, because you're just 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks just in this range right here. So for me, I mean, it just depends what the daily does. We need some more direction on the daily. We're just being squeezed at the minute, and there's no real trade. I mean, there's a setup on the daily. If you see, we've spiked through, pulled up, we've come down for a retest, and then the daily's looking bullish again. So depending on how the 4 hour reacts, we could be in longs up to 1.12950 to start off with, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, we need to wait for the 4 hour on this one. But the daily's giving us a nice bullish setup. And then CAD JPY, we've been capped again at this level, but price capped above. So you can see here, come down, high, low, mid, high, high, and then we got capped right here. But price capped above, and price on the daily is looking bullish. So I would say the next target is, I mean, obviously you have all these intermediate targets like 112 and then 115, but the main target is going to be up at 118630 for CAD JPY. But like I say, daily's bullish. Let's see what happens. Euro JPY, this is probably the cleanest one that we've seen. You can see how we're clearly stepping up on the daily. The weekly, you see we had a candle wick down into 161900, another wick, we held it, popped up, and now we're above all of these rejections here. So the next target is 174592, and if you go on the daily, we're just waiting for a nice pullback and then a buy. We have got a breakout, so we can then wait for a 4 hour pullback and then a buy on Euro JPY. And then Euro GBP, we've been held really nicely. You can see this is just perfect. You can see held nicely at 83100 on Euro GBP, and if we go to the daily, you can see how we've formed a low, now we formed a high, breaking this. So formed low, low, high, and then we've broken that high, and now we can be looking up at 083800 for buys. That's what I'd be saying. Obviously we have pretty steep, I mean, that's not going to help anyone, but I think buys, that's what I'm saying on this. The setup is looking bullish on the daily, and we've been held nicely at 83200. So yeah, let's do it. Obviously the daily is a smaller time frame than the weekly, and the weekly can just pull back up and then drop, but the daily needs to show that. The daily at the minute is really choppy, but it is looking like it's bullish, so just bear that in mind. And then next we've got NZD USD. So this is one of the trades that I'd still be in, but I closed as I'd passed one of my phase 2 accounts, so I closed it, so I passed, but this would still be open, and I'd be trading stops above this high. I won't get into the detail, but you can probably figure out why the stops are above there. But yeah, you can see here, weekly, although you can see we got capped, then we got capped again, the daily still continued to trend down. So obviously the weekly, you can say, oh, well, we've been capped here, we're looking to pull up, but the daily needs to show that, and the daily's not showing that. So we were looking at shorts. We took a short after we got a daily setup, and then we got a nice 4 hour entry, if we zoom in. Nice 4 hour entry here, stops above, and then took a short, and it would still be running right now at 4.77R with 2.37% locked in. So it's a good trade. It would still be running towards a target of 58800, and yeah, it's just a shame that with the funded accounts you don't get to make the most of trades like this, but that's just, it is what it is, so just deal with it. Okay, next one. Okay, yeah, so target for this one, again, as I said, 58800. And then we move on to NZD CAD. So we are being held at this level right here, 82800, 82900, and we're looking for price to give us a sign that it's going to move lower into 81500, but at the minute we seem to be holding this weekly level, and as we have closed here, not rejecting it, usually I would expect just a push down, a retracement, and then we can drop. But we'll have to see, because the daily is just consolidating in a minute. It's not giving us any signals or anything, so we'll just leave it. And yeah, but you can see yesterday I had this marked as a setup. You can see Friday 25th we got a setup, and then if you look at today, sorry, look at today, there's no actual entry for it, but yeah, there's no entry for it, and we'd already tapped into the weekly level, so you can see how that rejected nicely off it. But I'm just waffling, that's a load of rubbish. Let's just get on with it. And finally, not finally, got three more pairs. NZD JPY. So similar with the other JPY pairs, we've been capped, we've made a high, and now we're looking to break that high. And the daily is looking like it's going to do it, but we're not getting any setups at the minute. I think it's hard to call this because it can go one way or the other, because we're just consolidating on the daily. We're just waiting for clear structure on the daily to tell us what the next move is, because we're at the top of the range at the minute. It's all about waiting right now on NZD JPY, in my opinion. Okay, next. USD CAD. We've got too many JPY pairs here. USD CAD. On the weekly, we are, I think, obviously we're really overextended here, but it's the weekly, and the weekly just moves the way it wants to. It doesn't have, it'll retrace when it's ready. But there's been a really nice move up on USD CAD, and if we can continue it, I'm going to be looking at 139,400. The daily hasn't given us a setup. Obviously, yesterday you had a setup, but there was no clear retracement, so no clear entry. So we're waiting for a clear setup, nice retracement, and then we'll take it on. Okay, finally, USD JPY. This one is floating in this range right here, and it's just bullish. It's bullish at the minute with a target of 161,300, as all other JPY pairs are. Or most other JPY pairs. I can't remember if there was one that wasn't, but most of them are. And then no daily setups. Yeah, no daily setups. We filled that gap from yesterday, and now we're just floating around. But yeah, long on USD JPY to 161,200. Okay, that's been the weekly forecast for this week. It is the 28th of October today. Let's check in at the end of the week and see how it goes.